This tutorial, I'm going to cover how to animate the cat climbing the wall. And this can be applied to if you need to animate someone walking or someone doing, or another animal moving. So anyway, this is what I've done in my original animation here. I have another version where I've not done this to it yet. So let's go to it, and I'm going to actually see if I can even make it better if possible, okay? So let me go and do File and Open Project, and we'll find it. There we go. This one. Okay. So in this one, it appears as if I just brought it over in from Illustrator. And I've animated the other things here, but basically, the cat hasn't been animated yet. And so the cat's made up of several layers. There's a body, and then there's back legs and front legs and the head. Okay, all those things make up the cat. And one thing I did not do when I animated this was, it's so hard to find these layers sometimes. If you know the name of them, that's great. But as you can see here, there's just so much. It's so hard to see that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to this little square here. And I've got them all selected, okay? That's important to do. And we're just going to change the color to a different color. So now they're all orange, and they're going to be easy to find, okay? So first thing I'm going to need to do is we're going to need to, this is where he appears, and we're going to need to move him down here, okay? Now the other thing I'm going to need to do is I want all these layers to move with the cat body. So I'm going to use the parent pick whip, this right here, the parent pick whip. You click on the top one and drag down to the body. Or if it was the opposite way, it depends on which layer you want them all to follow. Okay? So we're going to take that one, and they all have to be selected, and you'll see how it just changed there. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to deselect for a moment and go to just the cat body and hit the position P button for position. We're going to click the stopwatch to install keyframe, and then I'm going to move forward here, and I'm just going to scrub this thing, and I'm scrubbing the second one here. Got the X and Y axis, so that's what I'm moving right now. I believe it's the Y, if I'm correct. I'm an illustrator, so X and Y doesn't mean much to me, except when I start to do this type of work. All right, so there we go. We scrubbed it all the way up. The other way I could have done it was use the selection tool, and so that installs the keyframe, and now he just is coming up. It's like he's being hung or whatever. So now we got to go in and animate him. So as he moves up, we will see. First of all, we could do his head or we can do his legs. I'm going to start with his front legs. I'm going to click on that layer, and I'm going to hit the R key so I can bring up rotation. We'll click the stopwatch, and then we're going to move it just a little bit, and we just want to barely move it here, and we might need to move that back. So I'm going to move. Let's go back here. Okay, so he's here. Yeah, I'm going to move this keyframe I just put in there. And one of the things you could do is you can always zoom in, so it makes it easier to see things. Okay, so as we come in here, we might want to bring this keyframe over just a little bit. Okay. We can zoom in even more so we can see the individual. There we go. All right. So now, let me bring that there. Let's move forward a little bit. Okay. And as it moves forward here, then I'm going to rotate it the opposite direction. Not that way. This way, kitty. Okay. Now, let's move up just a little bit more. So that makes it a lot easier zooming in. I wasn't zoomed in when I was working with this before, and it just really helps when you're on that timeline. You can see things. So let's move it like that. So now he's kind of waving at us. All right, there we go. Now let's move him here and drag this all the way back here. Okay. Then we're going to go here, and this might be the last one we need. The other thing, too, I failed to mention was the rotation point, and we'll just move it one more and see. Yeah, we could probably start to rotate him again here. It'll show just as he leaves. So let's see what that looks like. Yeah, see, it it starts to move him. Okay? But what I was going to say is, one thing I failed to mention was, let's zoom in here so we can see this better. And move this over a little bit. So for one thing, I have these anchor points situated, and this is where they're being rotated from. And as you can see, if you look at this, and we'll move it up in just a little bit more. Usually that anchor point would be dead center. You see, it should line up with that and these two, this one and this one and this one and this one, because that's how it would come in. So I moved that anchor point so it would rotate from this point here. Okay, so I had to move it so it was easier to rotate, and I used that with the pan behind tool because this really affects how he moves. Okay, and I did that to all of my layers before I started this tutorial. So let me go forward here, or let me actually we'll zoom out just a little bit here. Okay, and now next, as that was coming up, by the time we get to here, well, let's do this. We're going to go to the back legs and hit the R key, just so that we can install a keyframe so that will, have those back legs there. So by the time we get to here, then I can change the rotation of the back legs, And mind you, it doesn't look the best, but I'm going to do another effect to it. And part of it was how I was intending to animate this. I made this because I was thinking in terms of flipping these, and then I couldn't find a way to do that. And actually, there probably is a way now that I found all these other controls. But I'm going to do some extra animating of these as far as adding something that's not on these layers after I rotate all these. So let's move him up just a little bit. And, oops, let's rotate it this way. Okay. Now I could have done something else, too. I could have kind of had him kind of look like he's jumping, too. And it's just all in how you plan out your keyframes. I would have to do that with the positioning. Okay, so let me rotate this back. Okay, so these will go this way now, and then we'll go up more here, and then we'll go the opposite way, this way. Okay. Now let's go up more, and we'll rotate it one more time, although you can't see it much there. But what I want to do is so that when he goes out of the picture frame, so he's moving there, okay? And what I might want to do, too, is it looks like I could really kind of play with the front, but, I'm going to add another animation effect here in a moment. Let me do the head now. The head is stationary. So let's go to the head layer, which is this cat head, and then we'll go to R, and we'll click the stopwatch, and as we move it up, let's make his head go in the opposite direction. Move him up, go back. back. And that might be all I need to do with the head. Okay. So, one of the things that bugs me is, because of how I drew these legs, those back legs I would like to play with a little bit more. I'd like to have them have a little bit more reach in the front legs too. So what I found is that there are other features we can add to the layer, and those are effects. And so let me go to the front legs here, and as we come up to here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, and this is my effects and presets. Okay, this is one place to find it. It's kind of hard to find all this stuff because it's just so many little folders to go through. But what I was looking for, and I've already lost it because that's just how quick it is. Oh, here it is, distort. Okay, so up under distort, let me pull my window over and see if I can scroll up this way, because what we want to do is transform. So there's another transform here, okay? So if I click on this window will pop up. There's another place to get to it too, and that is, well, let me go back to project, and we'll see if it's the same, because I may be just, I was looking at this thinking, okay, so there's another way to get to this, and I hope I'm right. So let's go here to Effect, Distort, Transform, and it looks like it's added more things to it, but it's basically the same thing, okay? And we can do all kinds of stuff with this. So what we're going to do is we're going to skew it, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click, let's go back here. I'm going to make sure we're on the right layer, and it's added an effect, but let's hit skew, okay? And let's go up, and we're going to adjust that so that it does this a little bit more. I think that's what I want to do. Let me undo that. Okay. Maybe I want to, yeah, let's do that. So he's really reaching there. And what we can do is, see, that looks better there. He's really reaching. Now, I'm going to go to the next one, and what it's done is it's installed a keyframe on here. Now, we can do it here, but we can also do it down here, because you see it's added an effect. Okay? And so we've got two different transforms here. This one will give us the skew here, and I believe we can get to it this way. Okay? Let me close it back up here. It's also this way. Okay. All right, here's the skew that I was using. Obviously, I may have done this twice by adding that the first time. So if I want to, maybe what I do is, let's hit the delete on this. I don't think I'll do anything. Let's hope so. No, I'll undo. Okay, so yeah. So here, I want to skew it the opposite way, like that. Okay, so he's really reaching there, which really helps. Or let's go forward one more, and we'll change the skew. I'm hoping I'm doing it right here, because we'll just go back and look at this. Yeah, it looks like he's really reaching, which is what I want. Okay, skew again. Okay. I'm just going back to look at this. And I could have applied other things to this too. I just was using skew when I did this. And we'll go the opposite direction, I believe, because you might not see it there, but as we're doing it there, so that kind of helps. Yeah? Now, I like that, so we'll leave that for the arms, so for the front arms. So let me go back here, and let's go down to the back legs. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to come over here. We don't see the back legs yet until here. Okay, so let's go over here and click on transform. And just and see, what the problem was I put two of those on there, and I didn't realize that. So I'm going to use this one because it has less to look at as far as all these different things. Because obviously the other one, there was many more options, and sometimes it's best to have less options. So I'm going to click, make sure the back legs are there, and we're looking at transform, and here's skew. So let's move forward here. I'm going to skew those back legs. Maybe like that. I'm looking here. We're going to move forward this way and go this way, yeah. He's really like reaching. Okay, we'll go forward again, and then we'll skew. Whoa, don't want to do that. I'll go this way. Okay, and then we're going to go here, and we'll skew this way. So let's see how that looks. Much better. Much better. Now, the other thing, too, was, I was wanting to kind of flip the body or whatever. That's why it's got that curvature there. But I'm just going to play with skew on it. So let me go up here. And I'm going to go to the cat body. And let's do the same thing. So here we'll hit skew. And I'm not doing skew axis. Then we'll click here. And let's go up under effect. See transform. See, there's two different things here. There's there's this position that was originally put in. That's the original. Because if we go up under here, you only see the transform here. Okay, this is for something else. So that's why it's added. And we'll just play around here. And you can't see much happening, but let's go forward another frame. And let's see about skewing that body just a little differently here. Just skewing it a little bit so okay, that there. Skew that there. Skew one more time. Just so that tail moves. And there we go. Okay? And we can even do something with the head too. I'm noticing the head boggles back and forth, but maybe we make it do something else. So, and let me go back up here to do that. So let's look for the head. I'll scroll to get to the head here. So I've got rotation on the head. I could put another effect on here. We could try transform, and let's see what we can do with it. Because there's skew, there's scale, the position. I'm wondering about just playing with the position on this. There's opacity. I want to do opacity. There's skew access too. But I'm thinking of just playing with the position a little bit. So I'm going to click that. Then we're going to move over here. And let's scrub one of these. Maybe his head pops up a little bit. Let me get back here and bring the head back in a little bit. And here. And see, I didn't do this to the original. So, I want to go in. We want to kind of reaching out there. All right. Bring that in a little bit more. Okay, and then I don't think we're going to need it. So let's see how he looks. Let's see how he animates. That's a lot better. Okay. Now, I'm more of an illustrator than an animator. That's my whole background is illustration, but I do enjoy playing with this. And it's a very simplistic animation. But I hope this helps you out. As you can see, there's lots of keyframes and all kinds of things to do, but it's just a matter of working with them and getting used to all this. So this will end this tutorial.